Since we just recently saw the Flux with Kontext, which changed the way we're editing and creating images, and now we have a new contender there with a HiDream E1 model. Well, on a first look, they look very similar what they can do, but they actually have a distinct architecture's capabilities and different philosophy. Flux model, by example, created by Black Forest Lab and company who founded by former stable AI engineers and is primarily focused on the text-to-image generations. They're based on a rectified flow transformers architectures and design choice to generate towards production high fidelity images that closely adhere to the user's text prompts. HiDreams was developed by HiDreams.ai, and this is a multi-model foundational model, which meaning is designed to understand the process of information from various formats, including text, images, videos, 3D models. As an image generation model, HiDream, for example, E1 model is built upon a surprise diffusion transformers DIT architectures, which innovate approach and allow the more efficient processing of information, contributing to its high performance. And as a result, for example, HiDream model can utilize 17 billion parameters versus about 12 billion inside the Flux. And of course, more parameters give it us better quality. In this video, I want to look closer on the HiDream E1 model, how to install, how to use it, and we're going to compare with the Flux Kontext model to see what is the strengths and weaknesses on both of them. To test, we're going to use the ComfyUI. If you don't have ComfyUI installed on your computer, I will provide a link down below for you where you can see step by step from beginning to full installations and creating functional environment on your own computer. As well, we're going to utilize some models for ComfyUI. Links for all these resources that will be inside the video you can find down in the descriptions. Some of them, for example, HiDream E1 full model, you can download it here, but that will be require a quite bit powerful video card with a lot of VRAM. As well, you can use it quantized models. Thank you to the ND911, which is you can select for what video card you have. And for example, right here, if you follow the link, you'll notice they have quantization models. By the way, small adjustment to workflow will be required, but it's literally very insignificant. And right here, you can find all these different models. General Q2, it is higher quantizations. Quantizations mean, just imagine it's like you are reduced quality or fidelity. If we compare with audio files, you have a file which is have a 10, 8-bit, or 24-bit music, and definitely when you have it higher fidelity, you can listen better sound. And when you're going down to like 8-bit, you're going back maybe in time in 1990s when you can hear this very barely sound. So we can somewhat putting this towards our quantization. So it's meaning the smaller model have a smaller size. Definitely we lost some fidelity there, and because of that, our images creating won't be as good as you using full model or with a lower quantization, lower compression in this case. Well, on this link you can find you have it workflows in the beginning. You can download them to use it, and down below you find quantization models. Well, Q2 it's the highest compression. Let's put this way. Q8 the latest compression. It's in a bit. And you also can see on the side, rule of thumb to access these models, usually you want to be just below your video card memory. For example, 6.57 work better for the card with 8 GB VRAM. And if you have a 24, you can go even with 18.7. You also can download it, all of them, and test, see which one is work best for you. It doesn't mean the highest model won't be running on your computer. Most likely, if you have it like 12 GB VRAM and you downloaded 18 GB, it will be loading, but if you have it shared memory, it will put it in your shared memory. So it still be processing, but it will take quite a bit longer time to process those images. All of these files you can save and on your directory going in a models, diffusion models. Example, right here you can see I have a model folder, and inside you'll find diffusion models, and right here you can place those files. Because they have the extension GGUF, they will showing only when you start using a special UNet type of connections, which will showing how you can add it. Beside the full model, you can also download split models, which separate models, text encoders, and VIA. Again, link down below for you. If you're going here, going in a split files, and you'll notice you have a diffusion models. If you go to diffusion models, you can find all of them full and all different size. Again, you can compare to these 8 full floating point or 16, so you have all the choice of different models. If you go back, you also need downloaded text encoders, which is going inside your models text encoder file folder, so you can locate them right here. You need to download all 4 of them for this one. And another one, so it's a VIA, which is using IE safe tensor. Most likely you already have this file, but just in case if you're missing, you can copy, download it to your folder located on your models via subfolder. Workflow will natively come with the newest version of ComfyUI, and for this one you want to use a .45. You can verify if you go to help about ComfyUI, and right here you can see ComfyUI 0.3.45. that will include it all workflow. It's make much easy for you to use, so you don't need to try to find another workflows. Just simply download it, the latest version of ComfyUI. You can also upgrade your version if you have it older, and you don't need to install absolutely brand new, but I wouldn't recommend upgrade it from the manager. For some reason I have it a couple times wasn't upgraded properly. The best way upgrade and be sure that upgrade is successful and upgrade all modules you needed. You want to go to your ComfyUI folder, going to the update folder, and right here you can find update ComfyUI and Python dependency. I will recommend to do this at least for every versions, because some libraries do update it, and if you just install ComfyUI update, you may miss it on some of those libraries. After you install it, be sure you restart your server and just watch that everything is updated. After everything happy and running, you can go to inside the workflow, going down to the browse templates, and right here if you go on the Flux, you'll find your Flux Kontext. It's what we're going to use this one, compare. And if you're going down to images, you'll notice as you scroll you have it the HiDream one. What we're looking for, it is utilize E.11. so you have it both. You have it image edit, HiDream E1 image edit, so depend which one you want to try it. For our purpose, we're going to use the E1 model. After you open workflow, you will have a couple right here. This is default workflow for the E1 model. And next, this is our context model. They are a little bit different. They also provide additional information that you can read it. For us, what is interesting, it's how we can control it and compare them, what they can do. Okay, at this point, I will usually won't go over context, the Flux with context. I have another video on this. You're more than welcome watching. It will be linked down below or in a corner. Now we're going to work a little bit more with a HiDream, and I will show you some settings that from my experimental what I prefer and how we can use it as well. I'll show you what is making this a little bit different from the Flux. Well, of course, let's first clarify the key difference between them. The HiDream E1, it is primarily functions, it's instruction-based image editing. When we look on a Flux Kontext, it's in-context image generation as edited. Well, it sounds about similar, but it will be a little bit different. And the foundations model definitely is different. The HiDream E1 is built on a 17 billion parameters HiDream i1 model based, and in the Flux, it's a part of the Flux ecosystem, which is approximately 12 billion parameters for the base for text to image models. So they have two different starting platform. The key capabilities on both. One is mask-free editing with natural language. And as we speak about natural language, you'll notice on HiDream we have quite a bit clip processing right here. Some of them, if we go back to download it, you'll notice on the right here, let's go back to this language, text encoder. It's also even include Llama 3.1, so it's a quite bit more natural language included here. And then with a Flux Kontext, text and image based prompting for high fidelity edit and character consistency. And we have it some as well, the clip similarity, but much less. So in this case, from my own experience, I found that HiDreams have a little bit better understanding, not just language, my broken English and broken language, so it's a little bit more context driven. Next, it's editing styles. The HiDreams, it's excel at specific targeting modifications based on a textual command, versus the Flux Kontext, it's strong in the style transfers and maintain the integrity of this job subject across different edits. And this is actually quite a bit will be visible when we start comparing two of them, and I will show you they were different. How it will even make this. Well, next, of course, it's a licensing. If we're going, keep in mind the HiDreams, it's built on open source MIT license. And if you have questions about commercializing or use to your project, please refer to that licensing. The Flux Kontext, because it's built with Stability Fusion and different license models, it is license could be varied across Pro, Dev, or Max. So you have all different type of the licensing for the commercial use. That is maybe make different on what depend of project you're working on currently. Next, community and ecosystem. Of course, with a MIT license with a HiDreams, it's have a growing open source community with emphasis on accessibility, but with a Flux content because it's a kind of oriented on commercials. It's integrated in various platforms with professional and developing focus tiers. So you can see one is a little bit more open to use anybody anyhow, and another one's a little bit more in commercial use. Okay. So now we're running HiDream, it's uploading and running, and you notice right here I have another node, UNet loader, and this is primarily what if we want to use it for connections our quantized models. And in many cases you can just connect model, but I do recommend for you instead that go download that workflow, and it's what will be right here. You can see it's same. We have it connections our UNet loader, which is going to our models and everything. It does look a little bit different from another versions, but again, very similar things. All what we do is change on what model we're loading in this case. Okay, for our test, I'm going to use the full model of HiDream, so we'll kind of compare full model to full model in this case. Right here, we're preloading our HiDream model. Below, we have our clip loaders, and notice it's 4 different clips, one for the shorter command, one a little bit more for human language using, so it's kind of cover everything. And we have our latent space encoders with the VA here. Down below we have upload images. This is currently work with the image as a reference. From there we have our negative positive prompt. The difference also you'll notice when we start processing. For example, we have CFG, it's a guidance, which is value of the 3. This is 2 pre-default values, and they do affect them. Even this kind of settings will provide okay result. I would recommend for you to change depend on what you want to achieve. I'll show you in a second what I'm meaning by this. And after we have our samplers, currently it's used Euler because it's a faster, as well as use simple schedulers. You always can go back and replace, for example, UniPC, which is also give it some a little bit higher detalizations, and you can have it from sample to maybe play around with beta or Keras. Again, this is up to you to play with all those settings, and after it just creating for us image to generate. This is very simple image example. We utilizing same photo. We will utilize and both here and here with a somewhat both similar or same the prompt for both of them, and see the result what is happening. Okay, the one, if you notice, this is can work with context, but it's have a little bit problem sometimes when we generate the style. So let me show you what I was meaning by right here. So if I have it replace glass with cyberpunk, well, let me go copy from here because I adjust futuristic visors. We don't have a futuristic word in this, and I want to be sure we have everything exactly same. We're going to run this. Personally, I found out this model with the HiDreams does require a little bit longer time to generate versus Flux Kontext. Okay, let's check performance, and currently you can see I have a 24 GB RAM, 23 it's using. We also can see on top when it's showing, but it does not necessarily showing everything, just showing 98% of VRAM currently using. For the settings of my computers, currently I'm working on an AMD 9900X CPU processors with a 96 GB RAM. I also run the RTX 3090 with 24 GB VRAM. Okay, so right here is our image done. If we look, it took 16 minutes 35 seconds to generate this image. Tell you true, it took a little bit longer than my usual, and most likely because I do record this screen and I'm utilizing more for the VRAM from the card, and it's probably spill a little bit over, just enough to push it for longer render time. Usually it's run about 5 minutes to 7 minutes on the RTX 3090 with 24 GB VRAM. Okay, if we look on the image, you can see right here it did very good job. It's create a title. One thing, let's look on the hand here, and you can see a little bit change on the arm versus here it's fingers changing as well, a little bit mess up with fingers definitely right here. We had 1 2 3 4 5 6, so we have it back to our fingers problems. And I found this quite a bit common when we work on a CFG 1.5. If you want more influence of the image, you want to increase this. So let me show you just even an example right here. And this is, I says, just replace the glasses with cyberpunk futuristic visors. If we change this to create in cyberpunk style, just apply to the style, this is what we're receiving. And this is with the same settings as we have it with the 3.0 on CFG and 1.5 on value. However, if we take influence of the image and move to the point to the 5, you can see a huge difference. So this is when we apply it with variation. And if we compare this image to original to this with a stylization, you can see its influence of the image is quite a bit stronger in this way. And this is what I found. If you have problems like this, just increase value to about 3. That should fix this problem as well. And if you work on the stylizations and you want stylizations to be closer in step like this with 1.5, this one with a GF5, and this GF, this one it's image. This one is image GIF, so it's effect or how much image will affect our final render. Okay, and just showing you overall the effect. This is when we have an image influence about 0.5. This one influence a little bit more with a 6, and I found not so much different after we passing 5. It does not affect as much. This one it would drop low to about 3. And this one effect on a 1. So you can see there I try run a different effects just to see how much affecting. In general, I will say the effect of the prompt 3.5 is fine. You can drop a little bit more if you want to give it a little bit more flexibility for the model, kind of creating the whatever is come up there. But if you needed stronger influence or better influence with the image, just increase this image quality and you will avoid some of this effect. If we compare same things with the Flux Kontext Flux, I never had this problem with the Flux. Actually, in fact, Flux work in some cases stronger with just replacing those parts. I don't know, maybe it's my personal experience or I needed more tests on this. But generally, if you look even here on the Flux with the default settings, by the way, in the Flux, we don't have it necessarily affect how strong the image is affecting. We only have a problem here with the prompt, which is a default for the Flux model 1.0. So in this case, you'll notice we have it about the same as original model, very close to this, only we change the outfit. Even signature right here. You can see Vladimir Chopine photography. So this photo I did photo shoot on Cyberpunk in my studio. So, and when I did this, it's also left just almost untouched name. So it's only seems like applied in an area where specify. This is I found a little bit more power of the Flux work with this kind of interesting. However, contrast and over saturation, you can see quite a bit different from original. So it's meaning it did apply overall noise, but it was more focused on an area where stronger noise need applied. If we go back to HiDreams, you can see the face actually quite a bit different. So it did apply by default values. Again, I'm repeating, this is default values. And if we're going to change these default values to higher, then we'll have a little bit different effects like right here. And you definitely can see that we have better fingers now. This is, it was applied on a 5. And but it's much cleaner, less texture here. We applied the hair same, and all hands look properly, included some emblem. Of course, we lost some of the details, because if we look here, you can see we have small details. This Hawaiian be cool symbol right there. And we'll go to Flux, and we can see right here, Flux actually does not even touch that. Okay, overall, from the test that I did run quite a bit on this, I will say that HiDreams provide interesting approach, and in some cases can create a better details. For example, like replacement parts, here was quite a bit different. And if I done this with okay, let me go back here. If I done with Flux on a minimum, you can see Flux sometimes does not very well understand what I try to do, like high tech, and it just was replacing only glasses from original, from this to some cyberpunk reflection glasses. So I need to manipulate a little bit more with the prompt with Flux to achieve this kind of sci-fi-ish look. I think the text definitely work much better, the prompt work much better with HiDream, and it's what actually focusing, it's what point on this. But you will need it adjust some of the settings depending on what you need to access. Okay, remember all the links to all resources will be down below. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Bye.